So over the years, if we go back to 1970s, this is how the high-tech jobs have developed in Cambridge, and this is how we've seen the broadening of the base of industry and science and technology. And I made this slide in 2004. And we predicted that the future would be in the final column there. I didn't predict, I just made the slide. We worked together in Cambridge. But as it is today, those things do now exist, as anyone that has been in Cambridge knows, and we have about 60,000 high-tech jobs created in the cluster. So dreams and visions have become reality, and over the years, just to paint the picture decade by decade, these are some of the companies that have been formed and some of the supportive organizations and financing organizations that have emerged as well. And one of the things that has been wonderful to observe, and this was a great piece of research done by one of our MBA students, is the way that key people network and interact. Don't worry about the detail. Just look at the way in which some of these names occur and recur. People are out and about talking to and working with each other. And I can't overemphasize the importance of networking and intermingling. It has been critical to what we have achieved. We have within the university a company called Cambridge Enterprise. This is what they do: develop business opportunities, obtain resources, provide financial support. There are about 60 people employed by Cambridge Enterprise now, and I'm not going to go through too much of the detail here, but they are concerned specifically with the commercialization of research. And I'll leave the slides with you so you can look at the detail if you want to later. But of course, there are lots of researchers, there's lots of money being raised through licensing and royalties, and we have a venture fund now. There has always been a seed fund, and now there is a 50 million Series A, Series B venture fund to follow on investments. The university got rather fed up with investing very early, very small amounts, and then along came the venture capital firms a bit later, invested bigger amounts, and took all the ownership. And the university said, hey, why don't we have a bigger fund of our own, so that when the company needs more than just $500,000 to start, we can go in beside the venture capitalists, and that's what's happened. I just wanted to show you one or two pictures, not of Cambridge, but of another city, not a particularly large city or famous, Lahti, a city of 100,000 people, living in the shadow of Helsinki in Finland, of course, as everything lives in the shadow of Helsinki. I'm a research fellow at the University of Applied Sciences. They have taken a lead, and we see emerging there a really interesting entrepreneurial ecosystem. They have their own strategic focus. Design is a very big part of it. You're going to hear about design in just a little while. And student entrepreneurship is part of it. Very, very creative and wonderful. Creating an operating environment where people are thinking internationally and reaching out, committing to growth. A lot of my workshops, he might be as old as me. Most people are not as old as me, but he's not a young man. And after one of my workshops, he sent me some lovely pictures. So I'm using the pictures he sent me to give you a few messages. Because I have a very strong feeling you are on an upward trajectory, without any doubt. Those students, at the end of the 2 weeks, some of them are here, they sparkled. Their presentations were as good as any I've seen anywhere in the world. And so when I thought about Latvia a bit and Riga, this is what I believe I see here. You have very strong science and R&D base. Universities are very strongly into entrepreneurial education, international collaborations. It's happening here today. The design factory, I had a quick look in what's going on there. You're going to hear about that later today. And the international venture camps have been good for all of us. Not just good for the people here that we have been able to bring to them, but good for people like me to learn more about different cultures and different ways of doing things. So my really strong feeling is that innovation and entrepreneurship are alive and well here, and that the business community is beginning more and more to support the new entrepreneurs. So, timing is right for great initiatives. This is another wonderful picture that dear man sent me. And here's another quotation that I think is a very important one. Victor Hugo: "There is nothing in the whole world more powerful than an idea whose time has come." And this is what some of the young people we're working with are dealing with. They are developing their ideas, and the timing of that is really, really interesting.
Our guest speaker from Aalto University Design Factory. Aalto has been, similarly to Cambridge, it has been like a honeypot and in a way a destination where people go and admire and want to learn the experience. So we're looking forward to your presentation. Just a few words about our speaker, Päivi Oinonen. She is a strategist taking care of developing of the Design Factory Global Network. She consults universities around the world on the Design Factory model, and I guess Riga Technical University is a strong collaboration partner in that as well.
Absolutely.
And she's involved in interdisciplinary education, design innovation process, and organizational culture that supports serendipitous activities. So currently Päivi teaches challenge-based innovation course operated from CERN and at Swinburne Design Factory, if that information is correct. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. If you ask a venture capitalist, they will say that the most important thing about startup is not the idea, it's about the team. There needs to be good diversity in the team, people with different experiences and expertise. And where do you meet these people? You can meet them in the university. So this is where I'm from, the Aalto Design Factory. This is what education looked like in the 1500s. This is what it often looks like now. To study entrepreneurship or to become an entrepreneur, is this the best way of doing it? What we have been doing is to run different experiments over the years. So in 1997, our professor, Kalevi Ekman, he started a course called Product Development Project. It's a one-year academic course that brings together students from design, business, and engineering together to solve problems for the companies. And it's been running since the 90s. In 2006, when the Innovation University was an idea, not yet happening, we had a research project called Future Lab for Product Design. The goal of that was to educate the best product designers in the world. And by designers, I mean anyone. My background's in business, and I call myself a designer because I can. Design is not just about making things pretty, but it's about using a certain process to be able to solve problems more creatively. This research project led to the start of Design Factory. Design Factory was launched in 2008, which is interesting because Aalto University only opened in 2010 by bringing together these three different universities. So we were the first physical manifestation of the university, the first experiment that would show what interdisciplinary collaboration can actually bring us. It's a platform, so how it operates is that teachers from different locations in the university bring their course to Design Factory to experiment with pedagogical development. How may I be able to improve my teaching so that we get better learning outcomes? We have cross business partners. What does that mean? We have in-house companies, so alumni and students have open office space that they can hire for a modest 150 euros a month and use that space to grow their companies. So let's look a little bit what this might mean. Okay, capabilities. I don't think it's very easy to teach capabilities. So what we try to do is we want to use problem-based learning. So using the opportunity of giving the students the freedom to do their own projects, by leading the projects, by not teaching, but rather coaching, and giving them like real-life problems, a real budget to work on, and a real prototype at the end to build, that will give them the opportunity to to try out stuff where they can figure out this area of capability. If we think about entrepreneurship, there are no ready answers there are no standardized tests. But it's a reflection of your capability. The action is a reflection of that. So our solution to this is, or one of them, because we have 30 to 40 different courses running at Design Factory every year, is product development project course. It's the biggest course that we have. These are numbers over the course of the history of the course, but every year about 200 students come to Design Factory. They're from interdisciplinary backgrounds, as I said, and this year we have 18 projects, so 18 different companies give a brief.
The developer of the Catchbox technology, and I have a pleasure to introduce Mitchell Studert, co-founder and head of technology of Catchbox.
And I'm going to give you a little practical example. It's by no means any objective startup theory, but it's an example of how we happen to do it and how we happen to develop a product. And it's super delightful to see it actually in work, like in for example, this conference. So first of all, what is Catchbox? And it's great that we are already using it in this conference, but in general, in a couple of words, so it's a throwable wireless microphone. That's as simple as it is. So we faced a problem, and we saw a problem for professional speakers and educators to interact with their audience. And we chose to tackle one simple, specific point into that interaction, which is the questions and answers session. Or it can also be used in other times of the interaction, but the idea is to give audiences a word. And so we created this is the product. This is as simple as it gets. Here comes our story, right? So we are three initial founders of this idea and the company. And on onset already we see that it's actually we have three competencies that are covered from the day one, and it's business, engineering, and design. And each of us is kind of tackling one of these areas. So we have like all these competencies in our founding team. Yes, Catchbox was born in Aalto University, and we were all students there at the time of creating this idea. And so we were young, and we still are young. We're ambitious, willing to take risks, and here on the top left corner I placed some of these logotypes of things that are happening in Aalto University, and these already got mentioned to some extent, especially the first one, PDP, Product Development Project, and as well as the other two. So the idea is that we were all of the founding team we were students, and we were participating in these projects, which all happened to take place in Aalto Design Factory, one way or another. And that's where we met. I want to emphasize this because we were students. We really were students with no connection with each other, with no intention to create business, with no idea about Catchbox. Yeah, and then we started the building process. So I'll show you a couple of slides and a couple of pictures of the process to show that it was not only uphill, but so the first prototypes are born. We actually have already come to the shape of the product. It hadn't been that way. So the first initial prototypes were completely something else, some weird looking, things, not really in any shape or anything, as well as some ball, something that we started with, but ended up with a cube-shaped microphone. And once again, we were able to, not investing our own money, use the tools of Design Factory. At the moment, we have a company also in Latvia, as well as the representative company in the United States. And the company for our partners in Latvia say we are a Latvian company with deep Finnish roots, and that's true. So basically, why it all matters and why we talk about entrepreneurship. Yes, we have like a successfully running business. We've created like jobs for other people. We have like around 1 million euros in revenue last year. We pay taxes, all those benefits. That's kind of the current result in that sense.
What we like students to learn is that they become professional product designers that are used by people. We achieve this by having a blended learning situation in which we combine projects, practicals, and also lectures for students to combine the knowledge of design engineering, aesthetics, mechanics, ergonomics, and sustainability and design methods into one integrated product design approach.
We've got two projects. That's main projects. It's advanced concept design and advanced embodiment design. And with these two projects, you will integrate all aspects of the design process.
With advanced concept design, you have one main design project. And in order to tackle this problem, you have 4 different sub-courses that teach you different things you can use while designing.
I think that the Integrated Product Design Master is unique in the world due to the fact that we have a long history in combining the knowledge into product design. And we combined it with actually world-class design methodology, which really enables the students to come up with new products, to come up with new ideas and make things happen. Actually, IPD focuses on the broad area of integrated product design and also the design process. I would say we don't really focus on the very, very, very fuzzy front end, and we have less focus on the market implementation of products. Everything in between is really IPD.
What I really like is the embodiment of a design. So thinking, the concept, making concept is nice, but to elaborate the concept and make it real, that's what I really like. So you have one main subject, the whole course, wherefore you do the side project and the big project. In the side projects, we focus on the ergonomics of the project, the sustainability, the aesthetics, or the technical aspects. The most important thing is that you're going to build a prototype and really make the product.
You can find a lot of different kinds of teachers and coaches here. Something that I like a lot is that you can sit with them directly, so that the hierarchy is not very clear, and that helps with your relationship with them and also the development of the project.
I like the structured way of working here. And in the end, for me, Delft had the nicest atmosphere, and I like the people around here, so I decided to come to Delft.
I very much like the science approach that this university has. It's not that common amongst design schools. A lot of them are art schools, and I think the information you get in a university like this is much broader, more interesting in general.
I think this master is good because we have a unique way of integrating these 5 areas into product design. And I think the way we tackle this is unique in the world. If you listen to what the evaluation committee said some years ago, they said we're a top world-class master. So that really makes me proud.
Are you the designer of the future? Can you add value to interactive products and services? Do your designs have a strong identity? The graduate program Industrial Design will put you in touch with your talent and passion to realize your vision and become the designer of the future.
Design is definitely a passion for me because it's not a 9-to-5 job. You don't come up with an idea at work and then at 6 you stop thinking about the idea.
Industrial design focuses on new systems, new products, and most products are becoming intelligent and interactive systems nowadays.
The Department of Industrial Design focuses on the design of intelligent systems, products, and related services that transform our society. We want our graduates to be able to shape our future world, not only by solving problems today, but also by creating opportunities for tomorrow.
My name is Stephen Eppinger, and I'm a professor here at the MIT Sloan School of Management. I've been teaching here for almost 30 years. I'm also the faculty co-director of 2 of our master's programs here at MIT that combine business with engineering and design. I've written a textbook titled Product Design and Development. It's now in its 6th edition. It's the most widely used textbook on that topic. Think about a product or service that you admire, like the iPhone, maybe the Fitbit, Airbnb, or autonomous vehicles. These kinds of products have changed the way we live, changed our lives, changed the way we work, changed the way we interact with each other. But how do products like these get created? Was it merely luck? Was it good timing? Or was it the genius of a lone inventor? Or is there a systematic way to successfully create new products and services? Well, I believe there is, and I've been teaching exactly that to students here at MIT. Welcome to our course on Innovation of Products and Services, MIT's approach to design thinking. Central to the learning process is a design thinking capstone project. Just as our students here at MIT do, you and your team will apply the techniques from this course to a real-world challenge, designing a new product or service concept. You will get feedback from other participants as well as project coaches. Many of my students have applied these design and development methods to their business or startup to great effect. For example, Airbnb was started by 2 students from my class, and we'll hear about their success story in this course. Many other students of mine have gone on to work on important innovations at companies like Apple and Tesla and Amazon. I hope that some of you will use the methods of this course to create new products and services that will be wildly successful, that will change the world and improve lives. That is my goal as a teacher. I really look forward to working with you as you take the first steps in that journey. Welcome to Design Thinking from MIT.